Howdy folks, how's everybody doing today? Today we're going to do something a little bit different, and it is in Greg's lair-ish. We're actually in the kitchen. Today we're going to talk about and make some cold brew coffee. My daughter-in-law loves cold brew coffee, and thought I'd make her up a fairly large quantity of it to last her for a while. You can get on Amazon, actually I meant to get one out here, I will show you. Klein Cups, K-L-E-I-N, makes a contraption like this, cylindrical, and it does come with like a little washer. You put this in a big quart jar, fill it with however much grinds you want and however much water you want. It's nice, I mean it's convenient I guess, but you know, it only makes, yeah, maybe a couple glasses. So, you know, and if you're a big fan of cold brew, then you go to Starbucks and you buy it, you know, you're going to go bankrupt here pretty shortly. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to make this. Now, cold brew can be made with any coffee. It doesn't matter what. The big factor is your grind. You want it extremely coarse as you can get it. And how much you use, water versus, you know, compared to grinds, it just kind of depends on the size containers you have and how much you plan on making. We'll move over here in a second. I'll kind of show you what I used when we had the coffee shops, a kind of another way to do it. And if you do use any type of bucket, you know, probably you want to get something that's food safe. Yeah, I suppose you could go to Lowe's and get one of their 5-gallon buckets, but I don't know if you'd want your coffee sitting in that for any length of time. Coffee, it can be kind of acidic. Actually, cold brew though is less acidic than perked coffee. So, and one thing to note when you're doing your cold brew, the lighter the grind, the more caffeine, and cold brew has a lot of caffeine anyway, but the lighter the coffee, the more caffeine you're definitely going to have in it. And the reason I suggest a lighter roast is because you get more of the actual flavors of the coffee from the region from whence it came. Our particular cold brew is a variety of 3 regions. We use a Central America because of the cocoa notes. We use a African coffee, and I'm not going to get my trade secrets out, but it has it's a natural process, so it has the fruity flavors. And then we also use a Indonesian coffee, say like a Sumatra Sulawesi, you know, something like that, because those have the more earthy notes. So we, you know, do that up as a light roast, and you know, we let it sit. Then we grind it up coarse, and there's the coffee for our cold brew. Now, let's get over here and talk about some of the equipment we're using instead of having you look at my ceiling. Okay. This is from a company called Brewista. I will put a link. I'm pretty positive they're still in business. This particular bucket will do, the most we've ever done it is 6. I think that's pretty much it. But it's 6 gallons of water, 3 pounds of coarse grinds. Another option is one of these little food grade buckets right here. The difference with one of these though is you're going to have to get a spigot, which you can get on Amazon, and drill you a spigot into the bottom of it. Go to any beer supply place, Amazon. This is a fine mesh basket in which to put your coffee in. And then with these particular buckets, probably had to clean it out. You know, all you're going to do is you're going to fill water, however much water. There is kind of the process that we did. You fill it with half of your water, put your beans in your bag, all ground up. You set that down in the water, then you pour the remaining water in, okay? And then you're going to take a wooden spatula, whatever, and you're going to kind of stir the rest of that water in. You're going to seal your bag up. These do have a drawstring on them. And then you're going to let it sit. With our cold brew, it sits 18 to 19 hours, okay? Yeah, I know it's a long time, but cold brew takes a long time to make. All right, now back to the Brewista bucket. The reason I like this is, number one, it has the filter or spout already attached, okay? And down inside, you can see down here, kind of where my finger's pointing at, right there. Okay, that is a filter. It comes with these little filters here that go into that, which helps also filter out any sediment. It comes with these nice, fine filter bags, kind of like a coffee filter. And then it comes with this ring right here, which will sit down inside, right down inside like that. And the other thing it comes with is this handy dandy filter basket. Okay, as you can see, it's got all the, screening right here. It's got the screening on the bottom, and that is what we're going to set this filter down into. Okay, so let's move this aside. We're going to take this, and I will show you here in a sec. We're just going to set this right down the side here, kind of flatten it out. All right, so we got that. All right, here is what your grinds should look like. I'm trying to not flip them onto the ground, but as you can see here, this is a really, really coarse grind, and that's what you want for your cold brew. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and dump that in the bag, because I already have a 2-pound bag of cold brew ready to go. So what we're going to do in this particular one, we're going to put 2 gallons of water. And I mean, if you've got good tap water at your house, that's fine. I happen to get some, whatever this is, Blue Ice Mountain, not a sponsor, water, because I didn't have any containers to put the cold brew in once it's done. So I figured I'd just buy these. And so now we're just going to go ahead and pour our 2 gallons down in. And probably a good idea to put your spigot over the sink. So now we can take this filter basket right here with our filter in it, and it will go down. It only goes in one way. All right, so we got that in there. This is probably, I should probably go ahead and get me another pound of this, but all right, so we've got our 2 pounds of grinds in there. And we're going to go ahead and pour our next thing of water. You guys can't even see what I'm doing here. There we go. We're going to pour our next gallon of water down in here. And then our last gallon. All right, so there is our total of 4 gallons of water. We're going to take our spatula. We're just going to stir our coffee around inside the little filter basket here. Throw that down the sink. We're going to roll the top over, and we are sitting in, I got you on the tripod, so I'm going to do this the best I can. Actually, it'd probably be better if I just set it on the floor and aim you down inside of it. Let me get a little light here, just shed on that subject, so you can kind of see a little bit better. Okay, so you can see, hold on, man. This ain't working as well as I expected. So let's do this. All right, you can already see, kind of down in there, hopefully it's showing up, that the water's already turned a little bit of color. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, maybe showing up. Sure does smell good. That smells really good. All right, so now that we have that done, all you want to do is set you a timer, or, you know, it's now 3 o'clock, so this will be done probably about 9 o'clock in the morning. Put your lid on. And let it sit. And there you go, guys. There is how you make cold brew. So this thing is going to sit, like I said, till about 9 o'clock in the morning. Then I will bring you guys back and we will commence to pouring it back in to these jugs. So this is 4 gallons of water, 2 pounds of coarse grinds. That should yield about 3 gallons, maybe a smidge more. But we'll show that in the morning, because what you're going to want to do, another handy feature of this Brewista thing is you can take this filter thing. Let me get my camera aimed back up here. It's got a handle on it. You can take this, lift it up, and turn it sideways, so all the water drains out of as much as possible. Will drain back out of that filter basket and back into there, so you don't waste any precious cold brew. So there you guys go. That is cold brew in a nutshell. If you're going to do something smaller, on a smaller scale, you could easily use something like one of these in the bag, and you don't even really need to have a spigot or any big whatever. I don't know how many gallons this thing is. This is 2.5 gallons. So I would use like 2 gallons of water and a pound of coffee and let that sit. You can lift your bag up and then get a rope or string or whatever and tie it over the top, let it drain out, and there you go. It's even cheaper. I can't remember exact price on this Brewista stuff. It's been quite a few years ago since we purchased it. So I don't know what the going price is, but you know, they sell the filters and all that other good stuff. So if you're really into cold brew and it's your thing, then you could get that. And I think there's a smaller one. Gee, I can't even remember the name of that company. Our one other location had a smaller brewing system, and we only did 4 gallons of water at a time, just like this, but it was a smaller bucket. So there you go, guys. We'll be back here in a flash for you guys, and we will finish this up and show how we get some cold brew. So back in a minute. Okay, guys, it's the next day, and what we're going to do first is we're just going to take our lid off, set that aside. We're going to take our bucket and we're going to turn it so it's just sitting there. I'm guessing you're hearing it make the peeing sound over there. So we're going to let that drain for a minute, and actually we can go ahead and do it now while it's still draining. We're gonna, I won't bore you with filling every single one of them, but you might want to put something down on the ground or whatever, or if you've got a deep enough sink. And let's tip you down here a little bit. And let me get my little towel holder thing out of the way. And there is you some cold brew. High quality cold brew, I might add. Very low in acidity, very high in caffeine, and what's not to love about that? So Amber, this cold brew is for you. So we're gonna fill up what we can here. We'll do the first jug here, which is kind of going slow, but like I said, there is another filter in there. So it not only is it filtered in the bag, it's filtered in the bucket up here, which you can't see, I'm pointing at. And then it's got that filter where the spigot is. Now this set for 19 hours and some change. I was trying to get it done at 19, but the propane guy showed up, so I had a little distraction. So we'll let this fill and come back, let this drain out completely, and we'll see how much we got out of 4 gallons of water and 2 pounds of coffee. Now these are gallon jugs, so I'll probably end up having to, once it's all drained out, I'll put my gallon jugs here in the sink and I'll tip it up. That way I'm not spilling it all over the floor. Unfortunately, you can't smell on video and you can't taste on video, which is a shame because it's pretty good stuff if you're into cold brew. I like it every once in a while, more so in the summer. Kind of slow going. But it's getting there. You could probably, this bucket is actually better for doing a 6 gallon batch than it is the 4 gallon. But this is what I got, so this is what I'm using. Alright, I'm going to top that off there. And we'll do a close-up. Where'd my lid go? So here you go, guys. High quality, not sponsored, Ice Mountain water, cold brew. You can use tap water. You don't have to use anything special. I think I said in the first one, I was at Walmart and totally spaced getting water. I had to go to Lowe's, and I got this here and paid way too much. But it'll be good stuff. All right, we're going to let that drain out from up there. So I'll let that sit for, I don't know, probably about another 10, 15, maybe a half an hour. And then I'll go ahead and fill the rest of our jugs up and come back and show you how much we yielded. So be back here shortly. Okay, guys, this yielded 448 ounces, okay? So basically we used, about 4 gallons of water. So that's 3 gallons and 2 quarts that this thing produced. Now, checking online, so that works out to be, okay, so, you get 2 pounds of coffee. Say it's $14 a pound, that's 28 bucks. $6 in water, assuming you go to Walmart and buy $1.50 a gallon water. $0 if you just use your tap water, if you got good tap water. Okay, so that works out to be 7 cents an ounce. Now, you can go to Starbucks and get a 16-ounce cup. I think the current price is $3.25 for a 16-ounce. And that's assuming no ice, okay? So you just 16 ounces. You factor in ice, you're paying for a lot of ice and not so much cold brew. But if you do it this way, it's $1.21 for a 16-ounce cup. That's 16 ounces of cold brew, okay? Not including ice. So, if you put ice in there, it's going to work out to be even cheaper. So, with all that said, and I do know it's either Home Depot or Lowe's sells, I think they may be 5 gallon buckets that are food grade. with a lid. So, you know, put your initial cost in, and say you don't even go this route, okay, with this bucket and everything, but you say you get online, go to Amazon, you get some filter bags, you know, factor in that cost, you know, get you a bucket, a spigot, and I mean, your initial outlay is going to be pretty cheap. But like I said, I'll put a link in the description to this Brewista brand, and not a sponsor, but you know, works good. And oh, by the way, here's what's left. Okay, so you've got a bag of grinds here, soaking wet grinds. Don't just throw them away. Save them. Put them in something. Put them in your garden. Put them in, if you got flower beds and you got problems with slugs and snails and stuff like that, sprinkle this stuff around your flowers and it'll keep the slugs and stuff away. And yes, it does work. And then down in here, this is what I did not strain out. Okay, there's just a tiny bit in there, and you can see there's a little bit of sediment, which, you know, I guess you could tip it on the side, put a coffee filter and put a coffee filter in, say this, okay, and filter out the rest of it, and that way you don't waste any. But pretty straightforward process, and you can save yourself, like with all things, a ton of money by not going to your local coffee shop, whether it be, you know, Starbucks or whoever else, you know, and make this stuff at home and have some damn fine cold brew. So you can get cold brew on our website, ghcoffeeco.com, if you're interested in getting some, and I can grind it for you just to the same that I used for this stuff here. And there you go. So pretty exciting. It'll be pretty tasty. And let me get you turned around here so I can see what you're seeing. And there you go. Simple, easy to do. Ain't gonna cost you a ton of money, and have some cold brew. And like I said, that worked out to be 3 gallons and 2 quarts that I got out of there. So, and that was using 4 gallons of water and 2 pounds of grinds. So hopefully you guys got something out of this, and you can make you some cold brew at home. Oh, I did want to show you this contraption is that Klein, K-L-E-I-N. I think I showed the box in the previous video. This is how it goes. It sits down inside this jug here, which is, I think this is, either this is 32 or 64. I'm not exactly sure. But it fits perfect down in there, so you can fill this with water, fill this with grinds, and definitely make a lot smaller amount, but that would work too. Just throw that out there. I prefer the bucket method because you get a whole lot more, and it's really cheap and easy to make a bucket, get a spigot, put it on there, get some filter bags, throw it in there, let it sit, strain it out, you're done. You're done. So hopefully you got something out of this, and figure out what to do coffee related next. But anyway, have a good one, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.